Would you consider wine as one of the arts? In terms of being artisanal or crafted or experimental?
I'm not sure, really. I think that you can
senses.
definitely take an artistic and a creative view of it. And the best winemakers all have a vision of flavour.
Yeah.
They've got something in their heart and their brain, but also their spirit. There's something in their spirit. I mean, a good example is someone like Dermot Sugru in England.
Okay, yeah.
It's not that he's just
Irish.
a brilliant winemaker. He's Irish for a start. That helps. Irish. That helps. But he's got a spirit which is restless and roving and questing and Celtic. And therefore not necessarily entirely rational, not necessarily entirely predictable. There's something inside his
Thinks outside the
restless Celtic character which brings out different flavours. There are winemakers probably at least as competent as him, but they don't have the same vision of flavour. They do have a vision of flavour, and their wines will reflect it. But I think the artisticness is often something which the scientist can't really put their finger on anymore. That I can spend 10 years learning how to play the cello and get every single note right in Dvorak's cello concerto and still not play it. Lillian Bayliss used to run the Old Vic Theatre Company, and Laurence Olivier suddenly was off. And his understudy had to go on, and the understudy went on in Hamlet, got every word right, got every move right, came off like that. I did it. And Lillian said, "Had your chance, missed it." And because he got every word right, he got every move right, but he didn't have the spirit in his performance. And it's the same in wine. There are lots of tremendously talented, clinically effective, technical winemakers, and lots of people who try and find that vision of flavour and spend the rest of their life and never quite find it, and just a few do. So maybe for that merry few, maybe it is artistic. I think for most people it's not, and I think for most people we go on about the art of art is a very overused word when it comes to food and drink.
Yeah.
And I think if we are not going to cheapen the word art, relatively few chefs and relatively few winemakers genuinely have an artistic touch.
Would you think of yourself as a creative, given your music background, your acting background, how you engage with wine in a very innovative way?
Yes, I am sure I'm a creative, and if I thought harder and felt harder, I could be more of a creative. If I worked harder,
You already work really hard.
I could work harder. I could work better. I could be more of a creative, because sometimes when I'm writing, I write all my books longhand. So 250,000 words. My red and white book was 250,000 words, all written longhand. And sometimes I will try on Monday, I don't know, try on Tuesday, Wednesday comes along, Thursday, I haven't written anything 4 days. And then on Friday I sit down and I say to myself, sheet of paper, there's the pen. You have to write something, it doesn't matter what. And 4 days worth of turbulence, stewing and germinating and simmering. And suddenly I can write 6,000-7,000 words in one day. And sometimes I look at it and I just think, nobody could have written that. And that's I love it when I do that. It's normally a lot like that, but there are chunks of my writing when I just look and think, that was worth all the pain. And no one has written that before, and no one will write that again.